let me just pick your thoughts on this one. It's political, though. The NPP just convened their primaries over the weekend. Even though we've had a bit of follow-ups with some of the candidates not happy, some even saying that they feel that there was some cheating at the event, etc. But it brought a lot of changes as far as I'm asking this, because as political parties, do you need to do wholesale changes as we've witnessed, or we need to keep a lot more of the best that we have to make sure we make the dispensation of democracy fluid?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, when you are dealing with an institution as a legislative body, you need to be very circumspect in the way you conduct some of these things, because look, the legislative body requires a lot of experienced hands to pass laws. And if you have people who have had the experience and are in positions to help effectively to pass laws, I'd rather keep them. You know, that's why I believe there should be communication and dialogue. Yes, everybody wants to be MP at a certain point. But at the end of the day, what would you come to the legislative body with? We can argue that, yeah, everybody needs to be given the opportunity to become a legislator. But in the scheme of things, for a country that has practiced democracy for how many years now? Almost 20-something, right? We've gone through 5 election cycles.
We have.
We should by now develop a core group of people with competencies in what the legislative body is all about. You need them. People who understand the process, who know how to write legislation, or even if, because we don't emanate legislation from the parliamentary body itself, who can scrutinize legislation and correct things that are in, do comparative analysis. Now, if you allow yourself to be hoodwinked into thinking everybody can come to parliament and you lose all your experienced people, then you are in trouble.
But we say it's democracy. Democracy means that...
But democracy doesn't mean you should clean everybody out and start afresh.
But what do we say is the will of the people, is that not it?
True, the will of the people is there, but you must also manage the will of the people for better results. I mean, look at 24 MPs with a lot of experience that have gone off. You're going to replace them with 24 new faces.
It could happen in the NDC.
Yes, it's possible in the NDC. You're going to replace them with 24 new faces. Assuming that happens in the NPP and that happens in the NDC, what kind of legislative body are we going to have?
That would be interesting.
What kind of experience levels will come in? We will have to go back to scratch. And that is where a few people there who have had long experience in there will begin to create fiefdoms, because then everybody has to rely on them. And that will stall the work of the legislative body. We need to have an understanding.
As political parties, how do you think that they need to manage some of these? For example, there's a lot of lobbying activity that is done in the more developed democracies. We don't tend to undertake a lot more of those lobbying because I guess we tend to think that's bribery or perhaps too much undue influence, so to speak.
No.
How do we need to manage?
I think the basic problem with our approach is that all laws that are passed emanate from the executive body. So it is tacitly admitted that since it is coming from the executive body, it is good.
Which may not necessarily be true.
We only have to send it to the legislative body for them to debate and make corrections. You understand? But if individuals, lobbying groups, can also ask members of parliament to initiate bills, then you see where all these things come, where the dialogue sets in, people sit down and get a better understanding of what is being adduced, what is being initiated. That gives us a better appreciation of what the process is all about and the end result. You understand? In the US, a lot of bills are named after senators because they started it. But you have to get everybody's consensus to pass it into law. So everybody must come. So everybody is part of it. You understand? That is what is missing from our front. And I think as a country, we need to look into changing it so that we can get private members, individual members of parliament initiating bills so that the dialogue process can be broadened. Then lobbying can come in. Because you lobby for something that inures to your benefit, or inures to the benefit of the collective will of the people. And that requires us arguing our points out, the merits and demerits. that is the best way to do some of these things. But the way we do it presently, it creates a semblance that Parliament is only there to push everything that the executive brings.
But the standing orders and the regulations of Parliament mandates gives power to the MPs and the various individual MPs to do that, right?
Yes.
They manage bills themselves. Is it by only individual members' bill or private members?
Well, I've never seen any in this country so far. So
yes, it's not happened as a norm.
Yes.
But they can do that. They can also initiate.
Well, then let's test it and let's see if it can be done, because it brings a better understanding of what bipartisanship and consensus building is all about. You can do it. If it can be done, let's do it. There are certain laws that I think people should emanate because of peculiar circumstances that is across the entire length and breadth of the country. So that if you are bringing a bill to deal with a particular issue, we all have a clear understanding of what it is, and get your people to come on board and understand.
I do agree with you, and having had a lot of experience, especially the way elections are run and how you need to get the people in Parliament, I believe you need to get your best people in Parliament.
Is that you need to always have your best in there, because that is where a lot of the action goes on, especially parliamentary subcommittees.
Will you try contesting when October the NDC opens?
Well, I'm looking at doing so.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I hope in Accra though.
No.
You have to go to your home state.
I'm going to.
That'll be very difficult for you.
Why you say it?
Because Ashanti is a stronghold of you.
No, but I'm Fanti and I'm Ashanti. So
all right.
I technically come from like 4 places.
All
so.
Right. You're a wholesale Ghanaian. Well, thank you very much. And Kwabena Champong is the outgone, so he's still in office trying to wrap up and try to see of the Youth Employment Agency. Brought a lot of changes to the agency from GIDA, NYP GIDA, and now to the Youth Employment Agency. A lot of legislations and streamlining as far as the best corporate governance practices brought to bear in his administration. Thanks for joining me, Kwabena Champong.
Thank you.
All right, and we wish you well in your new position as well. Now, that'll be it for the show this morning, and thanks for joining us, myself, Mama View, also Abuaji. And in the meantime, though, we know you couldn't join us, and Emmanuel Chawantinge Japon, you just gave us a word that you're feeling a bit under the weather. I don't know whether because of the elections you have to go through, but I wish you well, and we all wish you well, and we hope that you can join us next week as well. So that'll be it for the show this morning. Always make sure you get interactive on our social network page, Joy News on TV, and also the handle we have on Twitter, Joy News on TV. And that'll be it for the morning. Please join us for the last edition for the week tomorrow. Bye.